भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः First three verses we chant together. निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्यखण्डे मयि चिति सर्वविकल्पनादिशून्ये घटयति दिशजीवभेदं त्वघटितघटनापटीयसीमाया श्रुतिशतनिगमान्तशोधकानपि अहधनाधिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पादभिन्नान् अघटितघटनापटीयसीमाया सुखचिदखण्डविबोधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिविनिर्मिते नियोज्य भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तं त्वघटितघटनापटीयसीमाया अपगतगुणवर्ण जातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडाद्यहङ्कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारगेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटनापटीयसीमाया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडाद्यहङ्कृतिं च स्फुटयति सुतदारगेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटनापटीयसीमाया In the same vein as the rest of the verses, here too, first the Swarupa of the Atma is given before the mischief of Maya is pointed out. Because we don't want to put Maya on a pedestal. So therefore, we should never lose sight of what the I is. So the I is always talked about in the beginning. The nature of the Atma, the I is talked about, the self. What I am, if I know, then the Maya's mischief will be very clearly and quickly understood. Not only will it be clearly and quickly understood, I will not become part of the spell of Maya. I will not fall under the spell. That is why it is important to see this. So then another way in which the I is talked about is free of all gunas. What are gunas? You can take them two ways. What are the first way? What are the three gunas? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So is Atma Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic? Must be Sattvic, correct? No. Free of even Sattva, free of all the gunas. And then, another way we can take the word guna is generally. Generally, what is guna? Attributes. Tall, short, fat, thin, rich, poor. Attributes. Usually opposite attributes, but any attributes you can take. So you can take sattva, rajas, tamas, which belongs not to Atma but to whom? Maya. Trigunatmika Maya. So these are features of Maya, not the features of the I. Even though one identifies with the body and says what? I am restless. Identifies with the mind and body and the mind. I am restless. You are not restless. Mind is restless. Body is feeling restless. Prana is restless. That's why the person says, I am hyperventilating. You are not hyperventilating. It is the prana sanchara, the movement of the prana that is going up and down because the mind is agitated. The mind and the prana are connected. If you want to quieten the mind, start breathing very, very, very slowly. Immediately the mind just becomes extremely tranquil. It's really interesting. Even in the meditation, if there is a certain restlessness in the mind, in the body, etc., you just are fidgeting in the body, the mind is being overflooded by all kinds of thoughts which you can't stop. Forget trying to stop the thoughts, because when you try to stop the thoughts, what happens? More and more will come, as though out of a vengeance. So, don't focus on the thoughts, just focus on the breathing. Slow down the breathing. That is in our hands. And it is a easy activity. When you slow down the breathing, the mind puts the brake on itself and slows down also. But none of these are the Atma. The Atma is not fast, it's not slow, and it's neither near, nor far, nor fast, nor slow. And it does not move. It is in one place. Oh, it's in one place? Which place is that? If you ask, no, it is everywhere. Tade jati tanne jati taddure tadvantike tadantasya bahischa. So this is what it is. It is moving. Tadejati. It is trembling. Really? Tat na ejati. No, it just appears to move. Oh, the Atma is very, very far away from me. I'll never get this knowledge. Tad dure. It's a notion. Tadvantike. It is very close to me. That also is a notion. It is close, it appears to be far, it is not far, it's all an appearance. It is, Atma is within. If you say Atma is within, again we'll be wrong. Why? Because what is without? What is outside? Atma only. Everything is Atma. So, apagata, from which everything has departed. Apagata, departed. From which? From which Atma, what? Guna has departed. Varna has departed. Varna means color, coloration. Varna also social distinctions. If the first verse was talking, the second verse was talking about degrees. I know so much, so one person will say, I am Upadhyaya. The other person will say what? I am Mahopadhyaya. Keep quiet. The third one will say, I am Mahamahopadhyaya. And we can keep on going like this. So if the second verse was talking about degrees, the third verse is talking about pedigrees. From which lineage I am coming? Oh, Kashyapa Gotra, this is my Gotra, better than your Gotra. The sages after whom the Gotras are named lived peaceably. But here, the descendants of these Gotras are fighting it out. Very silly. I am Brahmana, so what? So what if you are a Brahmana? Big deal. What should we do because you are a Brahmana? Well, I am not sure. Okay, shut up, sit down. Brahmana is not by birth. Brahmani, charitum, sheelam asya asti iti. The one who is able to have Brahman as the main focus, that is Brahmana. There is one very nice, what is that called? Vajra Suchi Upanishad. Suchi means sui, needle, needle. Vajra means what? Diamond. Diamond needle Upanishad. And there it asks the question, who is a Brahmana? Very nicely it does khandanam of all this varna bheda, jati bheda, all these things. So apagata guna varna jati. So varna, various colorations, distinctions, jati. I am this one, I am that one. I am Brahmana, therefore everybody should put me on a throne. That itself shows you are not Brahmana. Brahmana should not want a throne. That is the definition of Brahmana. And then I am Kshatriya. Everybody should respect me. Like all these things. And the Kathopanishad points this out very well. The Jnani is beyond all divisions. Yasya brahmacha kshatrancha ubhe bhavata odanaha mrityuhu upasechanam yasya kaitha veda yasya saha. Very beautifully said. So for supposing one is sitting with a plate of food. So what is the main ingredients? Rice and dal. Correct? For whom rice is Brahmana, dal is Kshatriya. What does this Jnani do to this rice and dal? Mixes them up and eats. But then the rice and dal little bland and very boring. You need a little chutney or a pickle, a side dish condiment. What is that? Lord Yama. Mrityuhu. And who is saying? Mrityu himself is saying. The teacher is Lord Yama. The teacher is saying, for whom I am just a little condiment. Mrityu is also swallowed up by whom? Because there is zero body identification, zero mind identification for this Jnani. So here, the nature of the Atma is what? Apagata guna varna jati bhede. In this Atma which is free of guna, varna, jati, all these things, then in such an Atma what? And what kind of Atma it is? First is the negation, neti neti, then iti iti, sukha chiti. So in this consciousness, chit, which is what? Of the nature of limitless ananda. In this sukha chit, sukha chiti, this is a repetition. Even in the previous verse, that's how it started. Sukha chit, akhandam, vibodham, advitiyam. Same thing, sukha chiti. In this, so first you negate and then you positively say what it is, then only the knowledge is complete. The author is very, very familiar with the pedagogical tools here of the teaching. So first, na iti, because the identification is with that which is not correct. So the incorrect identification is put to one side by the negation, and the correct identification is then given in the form of what? The word sukhachit, that is Atma. What do I want to be? Sukhi. And what I am already? Sukhi. And because I don't know, one doesn't know how to understand that one is already a Sukhi. Because one doesn't know one is a Sukhi, one goes after things that they are Sukhi, dried up. just names and forms and finite things. One is just after this short, short spurts of joy one chooses. Finite things one chooses. In fact, whatever is away from oneself, whatever one can objectify is finite, cannot be infinite. No, but it makes me happy. Yeah, but I told you yesterday how many things have to line up to make you happy. Amazing. Mood has to be okay. And the means of enjoyment, whether it's eyes or mouth or stomach, that has to be okay. The object has to be lovable. The object has to belong to you. So many karanas are there. So first is karanas in the form of the body, mind, sense complex. Then we have upakaranas like money. You want a dream house, which you saw in the dream. Then to bring it to reality, what do you need? Money. And you can't say, I won the dream lottery, that is what I will use for monthly installments. You cannot do that. Because that dream money in the waking state is what? Useless. Totally vyartha. So therefore, all these things have to line up. Finally, the mood, the disposition of the person should be amenable to enjoying this. So it is a wonder how one can actually enjoy something in this universe with all these factors needing to line up behind the one, each one behind the other. Very difficult. And so therefore, even though the things in the world make one happy, that happiness is what? Temporary. Every married person knows this. Okay? Yeah. So that's why it is called honeymoon period. Honeymoon period means what? Until such time one calls the other honey. After that, Karela. That's all. Bitter gourd. So that is what is the honeymoon period, where everything is cute about the other person. Their behavior is so cute. Oh, but they are putting the clothes all over the room. Yeah, but it's so cute. This is Shobhana Adhyasa. This is a positive projection. Watch out before you say something is cute. Be very careful. If you are not yet married, be very careful. And then, this is so cute. Oh, but the fellow lives like a pig. No, so cute. Pigs are also cute. And the person says, then that same behavior after a little while becomes what? Uncute. First cute and then what? Not so cute. Then after that, yes, it becomes the cause for anger, irritation, conflict. Why don't you pick up after yourself? And now the fellow is confused. I thought you found it cute. So, like this is so anything that you want that makes you happy, quote unquote, is not really lasting. Is not lasting. Children are also cute until they become teenagers. Then what happens? And you say yes, they say no. You say do this, they say why? Why should I do this? Because you are my child. And then they will say, I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask to be born. Why should I listen to you? They will be correct also, if they said that. So anything, all these things are at best a kind of a contact high, and that's the only kind of joy that one knows, where the subject is in contact with the object of desire. Yes, that does produce, we can say within quotes, some happiness, but it doesn't really produce anything. It just brings out the happiness that's already there. And that happiness, that limitlessness, I alone am. Without these things I am still that Sukhachit. With these things I am still that Sukhachit. This is what I have to understand. Because even without the objects you are happy. When? In sleep. In sleep what objects are there? No objects. The Jagat itself is completely resolved into you, consciousness. All that is there is consciousness, nothing else is there. And so, this is what we have to understand. So, Sukhachiti, what happens? Apagata gunavarna jati bhede. And then what happens? Still, even though the Atma is free of guna, varna, jati, etc., even though it is Sukhachit personified, still there is ahankara. Even though that is the reality, Maya makes one identify with everything small. And this small ahankara is used to grabbing on, ahankara means ego, is used to grabbing on to small things and then not letting go. So, what is the ahankara? Two examples are given. Viproham, vipraham. Vipra means a wise person. Somebody else should tell you, you know what, you are very wise. Somebody else should tell you that. But if you yourself go around saying, I am wise, people will think you are otherwise. Yeah, that is what will happen. People will not think you are wise. Because the wise person has no pressure. The sage has no pressure for this validation. Look at me. Wise person, you are wearing a board. Wise person. And look at me here. Everything is pointing to me. I am a Vipra. And then nobody cares. In fact, if you let people discover your wisdom, then that makes more of an impact on them. Oh, how should I let people discover my wisdom? This is very interesting. How should I do that? By not saying anything. The less you talk, the more of a mystery and intrigue you will be. The less you say, the more people want to know about you, and then they will say yes. This is a wise person. So the wisdom is not advertised. If you advertise the wisdom, it is just dumb, that's all. The wise is not there. So the wisdom is carried in the heart because the jnani has no pressure to tell people I am wise. Why is there the pressure to tell people I am wise? Because one needs validation. Why does one need validation? Because there is insecurity centered on the self. Oh, they don't know who I am. This one also doesn't know who I am. I have to tell a few people. But then it's not nice to advertise about myself. So what to do? I have to find some ways to attract attention to myself. I have to tell people I'm rich. So, what will I do? I will drop a 2,000 rupee note and say, see, this is what I always do. I just don't even know what I have dropped. Or like that lady who had purchased a very costly silk Kanjivaram sari. And then she thought she will wear it and become the eye of the whole party. She thought everybody will look at me. She went to the party thinking this is the best sari in the whole world. The people were busy, they were into their own lives. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. Now imagine if she went and told people, this is my new sari, how do you like it? It will look so cheap. Where will her reputation go? So she said, I'm so thirsty, I'm so thirsty. So somebody gave her a glass of water. she did Abhisheka on herself. And she said, Ayyo, new Kanjivaram sari, look, it had to be dry cleaned, but it's now all wet. Desperate feelings call for desperate measures. This is what it is. So, Viproham, new sari owner aham. And then the opposite of Vipra is Vita. Vita means what is that called? It has many meanings, but the one which is relevant here is like a rogue, a knave. Even the thief needs validation. Somebody has to say, Shabash, fantastic, बहुत अच्छा काम किया. Your sleight of hand is so wonderful. I didn't even know I was being pickpocketed. You are amazing. He also needs validation. And sooner or later they will advertise themselves. Vita. Vita means just a small time crook, rogue, knave, somebody who tricks people and gives them instant vairagya by taking away all their possessions. So aham vitaha, like this ahankara is also there. You can, that's why all these mafia people, they demand respect. There will be huge underground, what are they called? Dadas. Dada means what? Boss. Underground boss. And then the person will be coming. The person will be coming. They'll say, hey, pair chuo, touch my feet. He wants his feet to be touched. Even if the mafia boss is, whether the person is Hindu or Christian, whatever religion they follow, or even Muslim, they will say, they will insist, touch my feet. What's wrong with you? Show me some respect. Touch my feet. Where is my garland? Where is my, all these signs of respect? Where is my favorite drink? It should be right here. Why is the AC not working? What did you do? Like this, they demand respect. Respect cannot be demanded. It has to be commanded. On their own, people will respect who you are. And it may take time. Because see, if we see the stories of sages and saints, many of them were just not even recognized. They were not allowed to enter temples. They were pushed away from places of worship, from places of learning. Still, they did not do any pratikara. They did not have any reaction. And because they were not interested in proving a point. And so that Viproham ahankriti is not there. Vitoham, that vitaha aham, that vita also can mean if somebody is ready to do prayashchitta, they can say, I can never get this knowledge, I have done so many bad things, like Valmiki. He had just taken so many lives, taken so many people's possessions. And Narada said, just chant Rama's name. It is the most purifying thing there is. Taraka mantra. It will help you cross over all the papa. Just chant Rama's name. He said it will not do any good for me. Yes, it will. He had to be convinced. So that is also an ahankara. I am not good enough. I have done so much papa in my life. I am as good as a knave and a rogue. I have thieved many people. I have done a lot of papa. That identification is also a travesty. So Vipraha and Vitaha Adi. Adi means so many things. We can say, I am a man. That carries a certain kind of a weight in society. I am a man. That means what? I am better than you. And then the person who says, I am a woman, that also has a certain ahankara. I am a woman, what I can do, you can't do. So, all these are what? Those are all roles. See, Vipra, Vita, they are roles, and then they are They are, what is that called? We can't call them roles, but they are just the ahankara associated identifications, where the ahankara is identified with that label. That is what they are. And I am this, I am that, I am a man, I am a woman. Again, ahankara identified labels. What is the label for Atma? No label is the label for Atma. No labels at all. Free of all labels. But then the person by this time is so confused because of the machinations of Atma Ajnanam in the form of Maya. What happens? Sputayati. Sputayati means makes evident. Sputayati. Sutta. Sutta means this is my child. My child. Sutta. Dara. Geha. Dara. Spouse. Geha. House. Mohan. Mohan. Sputayati. Moha means all these kinds of delusions it gives rise to. It means Maya. Maya gives rise to various kinds of delusions. What are they? This is my child. Oh, but come on, I can't even say this is my child. Well, technically it may be true, but spiritually when we look at it, you are the guardian, yes. Spiritually when we look at it, it is Bhagavan's child that has been lent to you for safekeeping for some time. That is the best way to look at it. This is inbuilt in the Shastra. That is why everything is received as a prasada. Children are also prasada. In fact, they are named prasada. Maruti Prasad, Rama Prasad, Krishna Prasad. Any prasads here? Yeah. There. What is your name? Venkateshwara Prasad. Lovely name. Prasada. Children are prasada. And that embattled politician, Lalu, his mother must have been a jnani. She took one look at the baby and said, Lalu Prasad. Lalu means baby Krishna. Yeah. Not my problem, in other words. This is a healthy way to look at it. Very healthy way to look at it. Not my problem. Lalu's problem. Bhagavan's problem. You see, it protects against the disappointment. And what is the disappointment? I want my child to be this. Why you want your child to be this? Because I couldn't be this. Arre? That's your problem. Why torture the poor child to be this, that or the other? I don't understand. And there is not only identification with one's own body, there is the identification with the body of the spouse. There is the identification with the body of the child as well. That's why every teenager has heard these words from their parent. Are you going to come out with me dressed like that? You know. What do you mean like that? Look at your jeans. There is more holes than fabric. Holy jeans. How can you come like this? Why can't I come like this? Says the 15-year-old. Boy or girl, doesn't matter. Why can't I come like, what's wrong? Everybody is wearing this. Mom, Dad, what's wrong? I'm just going to come like this. What will people think of me? It's not about the child at all. What is it about? You. That identification, wrong identification, that is the cause of sorrow. Let them come like that. No problem. And then when they themselves will understand, oh, this is not an appropriate attire for temple or puja. They themselves will see that. But we have that ahankara. Ahankara here means identification, misidentification. Tadatmyam. three kinds of identifications are talked about in the Shastra. Janmaja tadatmyam. Janmaja means born of Janma. It is also called Sahaja tadatmyam, a natural identification with the body-mind sense complex. Suppose I pinch you, who will say ow? You yourself will say ow. The neighbor is not going to come and say ow. This is important because you are the managing trustee of your body. So Sahaja tadatmyam makes sure that you don't injure yourself. There is one lady who had some kind of a stroke. Young lady, suddenly she had a stroke because of some blocked arteries or something in England. She was probably in her 40s when this happened. She was in a coma. Finally she came out. And then, thank God, everything was intact except one thing. What was that? She felt no pain. You could take this hand and beat it. She would not utter anything. Nothing at all. And so this was very difficult. One would think this is a blessing, but actually it's not a blessing at all. Because she would pour hot water on herself and not know. She would injure herself day and night without knowing what happened when it happened. So, but that's an aberration. That was because of the stroke. Some prarabdha got activated, but generally what? I protect my body. I know when it is hot. I know when it is cold. I know what to wear. I know what not to wear. I protect it from sickness. Some sickness I feel coming on, so I stay at home, take some medicines. Only I can do, nobody else can do. In the beginning the mother does for the child, but after the child grows up, one has to do. This is Sahaja tadatmyam. Then we ask the question, why this mother I have? Why this father I have? Why these people I have in my life? Because of karma. Karmaja tadatmyam. Second kind of identification. The identification born of karma phala. Karma here is karma phala. Then the final identification is called Bhrantijam. Bhrantija tadatmyam. Bhranti means delusion. I am a man, I am a woman, therefore I am important. I am a man, therefore I am important. I am Vipra, I am this, I am that. All these wrong ideas are born of delusion. Now, can you do anything about Sahaja tadatmyam? You cannot remove Sahaja tadatmyam, nor should you be able to remove it, nor should you need to remove it. What about karma? The karma of your parentage, etc., and which upadhi you are in, male upadhi, female upadhi, disabled upadhi, able upadhi. Can you change that? No. What about Bhrantija tadatmyam? That is the only thing we can change. That is ajnanam. That is maya here. That is what I have to change, and this verse really points out to that only. Very, very fascinating. So 3 kinds of identification. 2 are Ishvara Srishti, and the final one is what? Jiva Srishti. Jiva Srishti can be dropped, and in Ishvara Srishti I live. How is Bhrantija tadatmyam dropped? By gaining self-knowledge. How is self-knowledge gained? Shravanam, Shravanam, Shravanam. That is how. Then, Vidhi Harihara Vibhedamapyakhande Bata Virachaya Budhanapi Prakamam Brahmayati Harihara भेदभावान् अघटितघटना पटीयसी माया together. Vidhi harihara vibhedamapyakhande bata virachaya budhanapi prakamam भ्रमयति हरिहर भेद भावान् अघटित घटना पटीयसी माया. Not only the people it keeps away from one another by cutting them up into man, woman, vipra, vida, high, low, this jati, that jati, this much education, that much education. But Maya does not even spare the devatas. Vidhi means Lord Brahmaji, Vidhi. Then Hari, Hari means what? Vishnu, Narayana, Hara, Shiva, Vidhi, Hari, Hara. And then what's the next word? Bhedam. Yeah. So, Vibhedam, Visheshena Bhedam. These, what is that? These kinds of airtight distinctions. No, I am the worshipper of Hari, not Hara. These kinds of foolish thinking, airtight distinctions. And then Vidhi Hari Hara, and then Vibhedamapi, Akhande, in this Atma, which is totally devoid of subject-object distinction. The subject resolves into I, the object. And the object is, the object resolves into I, the subject, and the subject does not resolve at all. It is irresolute. The content of the subject is I. Subject-object distinctions come and go. The object is nothing but Brahman. Subject is Brahman. So the subject-object distinction is gone. And the means of knowing the object also Brahman. We have a tripod there. So first is I, knower, pramata. Then prameya, object to be known. And what is the bridge that connects the pramata to the prameya to the pramana, means of knowledge. Like I want to admire a flower. Flower, prameya. Me, the future knower of the flower, pramata. The wannabe, pramata. So pramata, prameya. And then what is the pramana? Eyes. Because if I have to see form and color, I have to use the eyes. I can't hold the flower to the ear. No use. Eyes. And so, what is pramata? Consciousness. The truth of the pramata is consciousness. What is prameya? What is the object? Nothing other than consciousness. What is pramana? Blessed by consciousness. And what is consciousness? Neither pramata, nor prameya, nor pramana. Free of all three, but then that which upholds all three, like the ocean upholds three different waves of three different sizes. And each wave will say, I am non-separate from the ocean. Wave is ocean, ocean is not wave. Pramata is consciousness, prameya is consciousness, pramana is consciousness. Consciousness which upholds and accommodates all three is not any one of them. So similarly, if you have airtight distinction between Brahmaji and then Hari, Narayana, Vishnu and Shiva, this Maya does not even spare the devatas, cuts them up into many gods. That's why they say there are many. We don't, Pujya Swamiji's famous quote, we don't say there are many gods. We don't say there is one God. What do we say? Only God. All that is here is God. That is the reality. And then so, but here, this is, the Puranas are full of all these stories. That's why I said the Lingodbhava story I will tell today. because this is where it will come. So, one time there was a terrible fight between Brahmaji and Vishnu. Both of them had it out. Each one said, "You are nobody, I am superior. You are nobody, I am superior." Like this they were keeping on fighting. And when Bhagavan, Devatas fight, there is no end to that fight. Because each one is evenly matched, they are all one. So there is no one-upmanship possible at all, but still they were having it out, having it out, having it out. Then suddenly there was a huge thunderous noise and a column of light, pure light, in which Lord Shiva appeared in the column of light and appointed himself as the adjudicator of this fight. The mediator of the fight, I will be, he said. And here he was in the column of light. So how are you going to decide who is the winner? Oh Shiva, they asked. Said, whoever can measure this column of light, who can see how high it goes and how low it goes, that is who will be the winner of this terrible fight. Vishnu immediately took the avatara of a boar. And he said, the boar, likes to, it has a tusk and it likes to bore. That's why it's called bore into the ground. And then he bored into the ground to find where the column of light goes. And the column of light was so unending, he found the task very boring and came back and surrendered to Lord Shiva. And that's why in the Lingodbhava image, there will be a boar at the foot of Lord Shiva. And he said, I don't want to do this anymore. You are superior. And Brahmaji took the avatara of a bird, Hamsa, a swan or a goose. And then he said, I will find the column, where the column of light ends above. He didn't find it. But he saw Vishnu surrendering, and then he came back and lied and said, yeah, I found it. I went to the top, flew down, and you are surrendering to him. And then Vishnu, through his Maya, knew, through his knowledge, Vishnu Maya, he knew that this person is lying. You are lying. Shiva also knew that. You are lying. You are telling a lie. You haven't gone there at all. And then so what happened to that? So then he attracted a curse. This kind of a lying God, who will worship? You will not be worshipped anywhere in the world. And then what? Except in Pushkar, in Rajasthan, there is a Brahmaji temple. So what did Brahmaji do? Repaired to Thailand, where every corner they have Brahma shrines. You go there, it's very, very nice. So then, he had insulted Brahmaji. And in certain, these stories keep changing. This story of this Lingodbhava is there in the, Vishnu Purana, Linga Purana, Shiva Purana, many, many places. So each place it is a different, slightly different version is there. And in one of them, he actually killed off Brahmaji. Who? Lord Shiva. And then he had to atone for this killing. And so therefore he took he didn't kill, he cut off one of the heads. Brahmaji had 5 heads. One of the heads he cut off. And so therefore he had to atone for this papa, and he went everywhere as a bhikshu, as someone who is a begging person on alms. He had to do that. So these are all stories to tell children. This is not the reality. Brahma and Vishnu fight. What? They are one. How can they fight? Can your left hand fight with the right hand and say, and the right hand gets upset and says, take that, take that, take that? Who is getting hurt? You. And if the left hand says, you are an idiot, I'm going to put a complaint against you, you are only getting hurt. So, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, it is just from a certain standpoint, for ease of understanding. There is no Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva different. It's all one. And this is told in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Yato va imani bhutani jayante ye na jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisamvishanti iti tadvijñāya tadvijñāsasva tadvijñāya. This Bhrigu goes and does tapas, contemplates. And yataha means yasmat karanat, from which causeless cause all this has come, by which causeless cause all this is sustained, into which causeless cause everything gets as though resolved, the whole Srishti. Where is Brahma? Where is Vishnu? Where is Maheshwara? This is all just for balaha, for children, whether real children or emotionally children, physically adults. That is also there. This is also there. So then, in this consciousness, Ishvara, which has no distinctions, Maya makes us catch on to such stories. Then there will be stories of why Shiva is superior. And then the people who worship Narayana will also say Shiva is a servant of Vishnu. They will say that. They will have their own stories and their own Puranas and their own things. And so this just again divides the people, and it's not really the reality. Because akhanda, where subject-object division is also not there, what to talk about gods. So, hey bata means alas, it's an expression of despair. Aho bata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukhalobhena. So, this is Arjuna's lament. Aho bata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam. We are getting ready to do a huge papa. Because of the greed of kingdom and victory, we are swajanam hantum udyataha. We are ready to kill even our own people, he is telling. So bata means, oh no, terrible, alas. Virachaya, virachya, same thing. Virachya means having made these kinds of things. And then Brahmayati Budhanapi prakamam. Prakamam means exceedingly, intensely, too much. Brahmayati deludes even the learned people who keep saying how famous is Shiva, let us write a PhD thesis. And the other one will say, no, I am writing a PhD thesis on Vishnu, comparative analysis of Vishnu and Shiva by Dr. so and so. What a waste of time. Really. And so, ye budhanapi prakamam brahmayati, and makes one confused, makes one wander endlessly in this so-called scholarship. And then harihara bheda bhavan. And here especially because, what is that, Brahmaji is out of the competition, poor thing, lost a head, moved to Thailand. Who is left? Hari and Hara. That nicely people are still fighting it out. And one story is told, and this man went to do his, he was a Vaishnava, and he went to do his Surya Namaskara, Surya Narayana. And then something he felt in the water. Wonderful Murti of Vishnu. Perfect. He said, oh, I don't know what wonder I have done. What must have I done? Some good. This is just fantastic, awesome, great, lovely. I'm going to take it home and I'm going to worship it. So naturally he wanted to see the craftsmanship. He turned it over, shock Lord Shiva in the back. perfectly carved and aligned, so that one side is Lord Shiva, other side is Vishnu. She just, Chi, what is this? He felt like throwing it back in the river, but then the Vishnu smiling face, I can't do that. Then he had an idea. I'll put the other fellow, don't even want to take his name, the other fellow I'll put against the wall. He went home, told his wife, make naivedyam, make something nice, I'm doing this puja. Panditji put the Shiva side facing the wall. Then what? Then it came the time to, he put some flowers, decorated the Vishnu side, nothing for the Shiva side. Then it came time for incense, dhupa, correct? Dhupa means, how can I be sure that Shiva will also enjoy, who is not enjoying? Because wo to piche baitha hai, he is in the back. Yeah? He took 2 cotton balls, stuffed them up the nostrils of the Shiva side. Okay. Dhupam agrapayami. Deepam. Oh, he's going to enjoy Deepam. What should I do? Blindfold that fellow. Blindfold the fellow on the other side, so no Deepam. And then already the nostrils are blocked. Naivedyam also he will not enjoy. And then he did Arati. And then he just was sitting in prayer. Suddenly Bhagavan became Pratyaksha. Who? Lord Shiva. Say what? I did my best. But besides the point that he was a Vishnu worshipper, seeing the effulgent Lord Shiva right in front of him, he did a big namaskara. He could not help himself. He said, what happened? I just disrespected you so much. I made sure completely that you were not part of this equation at all. He said, because of your intense hatred and disbelief for me, I became more real to you than your Ishtadevata, Lord Vishnu. That's why I have done Prakatikaranam of myself. He learnt a lesson. He had an instant Vedanta lesson right there. So this Hari, Hara, we have to, that's why Lord is called Hari. We have to hurry up and get over these kinds of, totally get over these kinds of distinctions. Maya means these kinds of distinctions. Maya means division. Division is the product of Atma Ajnanam. When the Atma Ajnanam goes, Maya recedes as Ajnanam. Maya is there as Vibhuti of the Lord. It's amazing. Same Maya, different definitions from Ishvara's side and from Jiva's side. For Ishvara, it's almost like the Ishvara went to a seamstress. Maya is the seamstress. And said, make me a cloak, a cape. Oh, so I have to measure you, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Cape means it's like a statement on the person. I am the Lord of the universe. I am everything. I am all knowledge. I am everything. Maya says, say no more. And came out with a wonderful cape where the border is galaxies and stars and the whole universe. Beautiful cape embroidered in gold, silver, diamonds. Ishvara wore it and said, aha, it becomes me. Wonderful. Jiva said, why shouldn't I also have a cloak? I also need a cloak. All right, describe yourself. Jiva started to complain. I don't have this, I don't love myself, I don't this thing. I'm crying all the time. So Maya stitched a cloth full of tatters, like a buffoon's thing, all patchwork and tatters, with teardrops as the border. But in the cloak, what is there? When you throw away the cloak, all that is there is pure consciousness. That's all there is, Shuddha Chaitanya. And in the 8th chapter of the Panchadashi, it ends on towards the end, there is a very beautiful verse. माया मेघो जगन्नीरं वर्षतु एषा यदा कदा चिदाकाशस्य का हानिः को लाभः इति स्थितिः. Beautiful. Maya is the dense clouds. She reigns, pun intended. She reigns. What does she reign? The Jagat. And all the divisions are the rain. And the Jiva, under the spell of this rain, can say, oh, I need a raincoat, I don't have a raincoat, I'm coming under this spell, I'm feeling wet, cold, tired, terrible, sad, anxious. But you are not the Jiva. What are you? Chidakasha. You are Akasha. So when there is rain, does the space get wet? No. Space can never get wet. Let it rain. Varshatu esha maya. Jagat varshatu. Let her reign the Jagat full of divisions, distinctions, differences. I am Akasha. What kind of Akasha are you? Chit Akasha. I am that space of consciousness. I don't want the rain to come, I will not say. I want the rain to come, I will not say. Ko labha, ko hanihi. Ko hanihi. If it rains, is anything being, am I a salt doll? Am I going to melt? No, I am Chidakasha. There is no hani, there is no loss. Oh, there must be some gain because it is raining. No, no gain for me, because just like the space is not affected by rain, similarly the space of consciousness, when I identify with that space like consciousness, Maya has, I don't even see Maya, it has no meaning. Iti sthitihi, this is the abidance in the knowledge. Shall we chant the whole thing once? Together. Nirupama nitya niramshakepya khande mai chiti sarva vikalpanadishunye ghatayati jagadisha jiva bhedam tvaghatita ghatana patiyasi maya shruti-shata nigamanta shodhakanapi ahahadhanadhinidarshanen sadyah kalushayati chatushpadadya bhinnan aghatita ghatana patiyasi maya sukhachidakhanda vibodhamadvitiyam viyadanaladi vinirmite niyojya भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तं त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडाद्यहङ्कृतिञ्च स्फुटयति सुतदारगेहमोहं त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया विधिहरिहर विभेदमप्यखण्डे बत विरच्चय बुधानपि प्रकामं भ्रमयति हरिहर भेदभावान् अघटितघटना पटीयसी माया. So now at 11:15 there is puja, 4:30 there will be second class of 9th chapter, and then satsang will be there, 8 o'clock. The last satsang we'll have today. And then tomorrow, Swamiji already told, right? Announcement was made. There is a, Sankalpa for Ganga Snanam. So instead of meditation, we will assemble here outside, in just next to the, between the lecture hall and Samadhi Mandir, we will assemble there in a circle, and then rest Swamiji will tell. 7 o'clock we have to exactly assemble. Instead of meeting here, we will meet outside. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.